Hello everybody, I'm Rottonjon and welcome back to Conan Exiles. Today we're in the Exiled lands and we're picking up where we left off at the volcano in part 1. We're going to go back to the volcano and we're going to take a wheel of pain, some foundation pieces, our snake arrows, our poison arrows, lots of water, some heals, and some food with us. We're also going to wear our redeemed Silent Legion armor. That has 2 tiers of hot protection, and that'll be more than enough to keep us safe up in the volcano area so that we don't get heat stroke. And now that we have our volcano obelisk attuned to our bracelet, we can use our map room to just fast travel right straight to the volcano area. Easy peasy, life is starting to get better as an exile for us. And for those of you that haven't been up here yet, there are lots of areas around here that you can build in. We also might set up our Wheel of Pain somewhere in this area, or maybe after we cross the lava near the Well of Skello, somewhere in that area. Haven't made up my mind yet. Normally I'll just run past these 2 archers. Sometimes though you'll find Haas the Venomous or TMA the Slithering right here. If you don't find them in this area, over by the steps that we're going to go down, you can sometimes find them there also. And I'll come up along the edge of these rocks here just to avoid getting aggro of the magma creature that's off to the side there. Their leashing lengths now are quite longer than they were before, so those things will chase you halfway through the volcano now. And it looks like the hate list hasn't been updated yet. Normally the NPCs won't fight each other, but hey, that's a bonus for us because that was a named fighter there, so we're gonna knock them out. And I suppose we'll set our Wheel of Pain down on this side of the lava flow and we get them on the wheel and start breaking them. So this is a named fighter, Kiss This Flesh Terror. He used to be a really good fighter from the volcano. You can get a few good named fighters from up here. We'll get them on our wheel, and when we're done breaking them, we'll take a look to see what his stats are. Now I don't want to go getting into the stats of all the fighters yet. There's been so many updates to the game lately that I don't trust that the dev kit has been updated to actually go and get into all the stats of them yet. Now because of all the time spent in the volcano area here during this video, I'm going to fast forward through most of the fights and most of the redundant stuff. I'll take it kind of slow through the pathing and anything else that is kind of important, and that way we can keep the video to a decent time frame. And here's what I mean about the leashing distance on some of the mobs and NPCs now. Seems like since update 2.2, the leashing distance has changed on a lot of things. Some of the bosses, some of the mobs, some of the NPCs will chase you halfway through the map right now. Now we're coming up on a little leap of faith here. We get to the end of these rocks, you're going to have to jump across the lava, but it's actually a really easy jump. It's not as far as what it looks like. It's really easy. We have a couple options to get across the lava river here. We can either come down here and build across, or you can wait for a floating chunk of rock to come by, leap onto that, ride it down a little, then leap to the other side. Or we can come over here to this side and build across here. Typically I come over here to build just because it's a shorter distance. Doesn't require as much material that you're not going to lose to decay after a while. On this lower level, you're going to have some NPCs to clear out. It's usually either a tier 2 or tier 3 fighter and archer. And then right around the corner from them is another set of them. If you can get by without getting their aggro, hey, great. Usually though, you get the aggro of at least one fighter and one archer. Then as you make your way up the stairs, there's going to be 2 more NPCs, which could range anywhere from workbench thralls to fighters to archers. Every once in a while, you'll find a named one there, but not too often. And at the top of the first set of stairs, you're going to find some more fighters and archers. You have a chance of finding something named here also. And then you're going to start running into these Serpent Men looking guys. They're not too awful tough. Somehow here I got the aggro of almost everybody in the area. Now just to the left of the stairs that we first came up is this area here. You'll find a chest here, and then there are more kind of steps going up the outside of the building to get to the next level. And of course, these NPCs aren't going to let us go about our business without hassling us. Now, up on this level, you're going to find quite a few of the Serpent Men also. Like I said, they're not too hard to fight. It's usually you'll get in trouble when you get 4 or more ganged up on you at a time. Usually though, you can work your way around and take them on 1 or 2 at a time through here. Now, just to give you an idea of where we are on here, these are the kind of stone steps that we came up to this level. And right directly across from those is an area where you can climb up to the next level here. Climbing up this way, you're going to avoid fighting any other mobs. You just have to be a little careful climbing. If you fall in the wrong spot, you're not going to survive the fall. Then you're going to have to respawn back at your bed or a bedroll and jump into a map room to get back to the volcano and make your way all the way back here to get your stuff before it despawns. And yeah, that sounds like a real fun time, doesn't it? Oh, and look at that. More Serpent Men to fight. And on top of the Serpent Men that we have to fight, there are 2 Serpent Men bosses up here to fight. Now, these bosses aren't too terrible, but you gotta kind of be careful with them. Just like anything else, they can wreck your day if things go wrong. Okay, so now we're gonna head over and go up the last flight of stairs in here. So up here, we found another Kiss This Flesh Terror fighter. Now, this is pretty good. Now we're going to knock him out after we clear out these ads, and then I'll run him back to our Wheel of Pain. But I'll do all that off camera, because you really don't want to sit here and watch me run all the way back to the wheel, and then all the way back here. However, before I take this second Kiss This Flesh Terror back to the Wheel of Pain, I'll show you where to learn the Serpent Man recipes. Now right up here on the last floor in the center of this tower, right across from where the steps are, you're going to find this glowing stone. And once you use your activate key, this is where you're going to learn all of your Serpent Man recipes. Alright, so now we've learned our Serpent Man recipes, and I'm going to take this second Kiss This Flesh Terror back to our Wheel of Pain, and I'll see you back here when I get back to this spot. Alright, we've got our Kiss This number 2 back on the Wheel of Pain, and I made it back to the area where we left off after we knocked them out. Now to go deeper into the volcano and to learn our Obsidian recipes, we need to take another giant leap of faith here. And this is a portal that's going to take us deeper into the volcano. Now when you land in here, this is what you're going to see. That portal there is the way to get back out of this part of the volcano. As you see, it puts you right here back at the starting area on the ground level of this tower. And you can jump into this portal from any point. And for the new players out there that might be confused as to how to get up to this top part, I'll show you how to run up through here at the end of the video so that you can get right in and learn your Serpent Man recipes. Now when you get into the well part of this volcano, you're going to find these people around here praying. And they're typically going to be fighter 3s. Occasionally you might see an archer 3 in here. And they're passive, meaning they're not going to attack you unless you attack them first. And yes, if you do want to knock one of these out, you can. And then you can tame them on your Wheel of Pain. So here we are at the exit portal. This is the back side where you first come into the well part of the volcano. And down in here is where you first appear when you jump into the volcano well. So what you want to do is head over this way. And right there is the Well of Skelos. Now it is guarded by a mini boss and 4 fighters and archers. And I'll show you where it is on the map here. Pretty much everything is going to be shown inside this Well of Skelos, and it doesn't break it down into the different areas, because it's almost like a dungeon area. The front of this well is going to be guarded by 2 of the Serpent Men, and then you'll find the mini boss and the 4 other ads down closer to the actual mouth of the well. Alright, now that we've taken care of those 2 guys, let's take care of the mini boss and the 4 ads that are down inside the well there. Now this is why we brought our snake arrows and our poison arrows. It's a lot easier just to climb up on this pillar here and dispatch the NPCs. So to begin with, I'll drop a couple of poison arrows just down below me, because this is where they're going to gather up once you get their aggro. And I'll shoot a couple more poison arrows where they were originally standing, because sometimes they'll return to their original start spot and regain their health. So by placing poison arrows in that area, they can't fully regenerate their health. Once I get some gas clouds laid down, then I'll start switching back and forth between snake arrows and poison arrows, just to help get rid of these guys a little quicker. And it sure is a lot easier than jumping down there and fighting them. I'm going to jump ahead here a little bit to the point of where we finish these guys off, just to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. Alright, so we were able to turn all these people into, well, dead people. And then I've looted them up, and yeah, you can get some decent loot from them. Now this is the Well of Skelos here. We really can't do anything here at the well yet until we learn our Obsidian recipes. And to do that, we're going to have to go a little deeper into the volcano to learn that. Now there's a ton more places to explore inside the volcano area, but the purpose of this video is just to get our Serpent Man recipes and our Obsidian recipes. So we'll come back at a later time and explore the whole volcano during maybe one full video. So yeah, let's get on with getting deeper into the volcano. So we're going to head over to the left side of the Well of Skelos there, and we're looking for that bridge right there. We need to get over to that to get down deeper into the volcano area. Then we've got this guy here, which by now they're really easy to kill off. We're going to come up to this area here. We're going to bypass this area for now. There are quite a few more of these snake or serpent men guys, whatever, inside of there that we can fight. There are a couple of chests in there that you can loot. But to keep the video shorter, we're just going to bypass it, run off to the side of it, maybe climb and jump over a couple of rocks, just so we can get to that footbridge there to go down deeper. Now if we'd gone up into the other building, there is a little pathway that takes you right directly to this footbridge. But like I said, I'm going to try to keep this video a little bit shorter. There's a lot to cover in here. Now I know there are other ways of getting to this area. I just feel this way is probably the fastest way. Yeah, you do have to fight a few more of the Serpent Men, but I think compared to all of the climbing and sliding down that you're going to have to do going the other routes, this is probably one of the easier ways to get here. And for some of you seasoned Conan Exile gods out there, please leave a comment down below on how you like to get back to this area. I really enjoy reading your comments, and who knows, you might be helping out some of the newer players by leaving those comments. Alright, we got rid of all those guys. Now let's move on towards getting deeper into the volcano. We're just going to bypass those guys while they're busy fighting each other. Now this area here can be a little bit tricky. You see, you need to jump across this, and you need to land on that pointed rock down there. So you need to get a little bit of speed going here and jump right off the edge of the first platform, and you'll just make it to this. Now if you do miss it and fall to the bottom, hopefully you'll be able to grab the side and slide down without dying. And believe me, it's a pain in the butt climbing back up to this side. Now this area here has a ton of Serpent Men in it. We're going to kill off a couple of them, and then we're just going to skirt past them all to get through here. Now there is a door on the other side of this area that used to always be locked, and you had to kill the mini-boss for the door to be unlocked and opened. I don't know if anything's changed recently, but the last few times I've come into here, that door has been wide open. And right here, we're right next to the door that was always locked, and you had to kill the mini-boss to get through it. So I don't know what's changed since then, or if it's just a bug right now. And as you can see, there are a lot of Serpent Men in here that you can fight. We're just going to skirt past them all and get out of this area. Now I'm sorry to fast forward and run through a lot of this so quickly, but this video would have been over an hour long if I hadn't cut a lot of the fluff out of it and fast forwarded through all the fights. And right there is the temple that we are heading to. One more little jump here before we get over into there. This is a fairly easy jump to make right here. Little easy peasy jump right there. Now I wanted to show you where we are on the map, but like I said earlier, the only thing that the map shows is the actual Well of Skelos, because this does act sort of like a dungeon as far as the map is concerned. So I'm sorry I can't show you actual locations on the map this way. Alright, we finally made it. This is the boss we have to fight so that we can get our shining trapezohedron. There's also, around the back side of him, the tablet where you're going to learn your obsidian recipes. Now this boss is an interesting one to fight. He'll keep spawning in these ghost-like Serpent Men. They don't hit too hard and they're really easy to kill. Just don't run out of stamina all the time like I do. And I love how when you kill them they just turn into a big poof of smoke. Now this boss will spawn, I believe it's 5 waves of these ghost serpent men that you'll have to fight. And each wave kind of gets a little harder, but even at the hardest point, these guys are still really easy to kill. Another nice thing about this redeemed Silent Legion armor is that when I get hit once or twice by these guys, I'm not taking hardly any damage at all due to the damage reduction of this armor. Now when you've killed the last of these ghost serpent men, the boss will just fall over dead, and then you can harvest his body to get your shining trapezohedron from him. Now in typical Conan Exiles fashion, the boss did fall through the mesh. And anytime you have a thrall or a boss that falls through the mesh, just leave the area and come back to it after a second or two, and they should be back up on top of the ground. Now back behind the boss's altar, you're going to find 6 loot chests back here. Most of the time it's just your normal loot that you're going to find in any of the other chests out in the world. Sometimes you'll find something halfway decent in here though. But this is what we really want here, the shining stone that will teach us all of our obsidian recipes. Alright, now that we've got our recipes, let's get out of here. We'll head back to the Well of Skelos and I'll show you how to use it. We're going to follow this path out of here now instead of coming back the way that we came in. As you can see, we're a lot closer to the Well of Skelos here as compared to the way that we took to get into this area. But like I said earlier, it's just a lot of climbing and skirting down the edges of cliffs to get back there. And that's just my personal opinion. You may find it easier going this way to get into the temple area. Now one last big jump here. Now you might want to make sure your health is up there pretty good because you will take a little bit of fall damage here. It's not too bad, but yes, you will take a little bit of damage. Okay, so now we're headed back over to the Well of Skelos so I can show you how it works here. Now to make your obsidian bars, you simply just open up the well, add your obsidian and steel bars, click on the obsidian bar icon on the right hand side, then click craft. And this will start crafting your obsidian bars for you. And this is fairly similar to the Frost Giant Temple, where you need to take your materials with you to craft the items. And now we can try to get out of here in one piece with our new obsidian bars. We'll just head back up to the portal here that we first came into, and then from there we'll head up to our Wheel of Pain, grab our Kiss This Flesh Terror fighters out of there, and head back to our base. Now for those of you that this is your first time coming in this far to the volcano, I'll do a real quick run through of how to get out of here. So when you get up to the area that you first jumped over, there's a little bit different way you need to take to get back. Now you can't jump back across this little gorge from this side, so you need to climb up on this partly broken pillar here, then you can jump across the gap and continue on. So if you made it this far into the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. It's totally free to you, and it's gonna help you out in the long run learning new and better ways of gameplay. Alright, so we've made it back to our Wheel of Pain near the obelisk at the volcano, and it's just time to get back to our base now. I'd like to say thank you everyone for watching this video, and please remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Stay safe and conquer all. Now, as promised for the new players, this is just a real quick run through how to get to the top of this temple area to get your Serpent Man recipes. And here you guys go, a little bit more straightforward route to getting to your Serpent Man recipes, just for those that need to follow along. Hope you guys have a great day, and thank you so much for watching this video.